also very exciting is we have a guest with us here, the wonderful and talented Jen Murphy. All right, Street Creature. Yes, tell us a little bit about what you do and what your
Okay.
organizations do.
Um, Street Creature Puppet Collective is a nonprofit organization that started in 2012. Um, we operate under the nonprofit umbrella of Asheville Puppetry Alliance, which was started about 25 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a little bit younger than Surreal Circus, but not a whole lot
But
younger.
continuous.
Yes. Basically, all the folks who started that organization decided, they did it for 20 years and then they passed it on to us because they all moved away or retired. Um, so we make giant puppets and props and activities and activations for parades and festivals all around Western North Carolina. Yeah, and we're all volunteer and use almost all recycled materials, and we're based at the Asheville Mall. Yeah.
And you're well rested.
I'm well rested.
And my
Yeah. Well, let me
breathing
tell you about my hat.
Yes, please
This was made by Zachary Gladwin, who is a fairly new member of our group. Actually, we are an open group and we meet every Wednesday evening. And if people just keep showing up with great ideas, you're part of the group. Even if you don't have great ideas, if you just want to work and be part of a community art making thing.
And I can say I've gone to Wednesday night puppet club, and it is like one of the most fun things.
Yeah.
I often feel like when I'm at puppet club, like I don't know if you ever had that feeling of like you're around like the cool kids and like you're just glad to like actually be there because they're just like everything you guys are doing is so fun. I get that way at puppet club. I get
Yeah.
like kind of like these guys are awesome.
Yeah. And we give people a chance to play with materials and not be like too, sometimes when people who don't call themselves artists are confronted with the idea of making art, they get like, uptight and worried that they're going to do it wrong or they don't have any talent or whatever. But at Puppet Club, we're like, here, fold these 400 pieces of cardboard this way. And then they do it, and they're like, yay. And meanwhile, everyone's like singing songs and telling jokes, and Marston's turning up all the oldies on the radio, and people are dancing, and it's really fun. And you just get to know each other that way, and that is actually it's one of my very favorite things in the whole world, is to sit around making a thing together and shooting the shit. It's just the best. So we do a lot of that. But then we also try to empower people to create really awesome stuff. So like Zachary, who only just started coming maybe like in May or something, maybe it was April, and the first thing he did was he made this amazing moon wizard costume, including this thing. And now he's finishing up this beautiful seahorse that had its premiere at the Rising Appalachia concert last weekend. But
I
it didn't
love
have
the
any color
seahorse.
on it yet. So did you see it yet?
I haven't seen it
Yeah.
finished. I saw
It's
it in the
huge. It's like 5 feet tall maybe, and you wear it on the front, so your head is kind of about alignment with its shoulders, and the tail curls up and uncurls, and the head bobs, and the little flappy wings. I mean, it's amazing, and it's a lantern, so it glows incredibly beautifully. He's covering it with purple tissue paper right now, so it's going to be like all different, hues of purple.
So, do you think there's any chance that it might make it out to
Yes,
Halloween?
I think there's a very good chance.
I'm so
Yeah.
excited about that.
It's going to be at Leaf. Yeah,
Okay.
they're all trying to get. So we also have 2 new little owls, saw-whet owls, that Mika's working on, and those are all going to be complete by the Leaf weekend, and then the next weekend is Surreal Circus.
Perfect.
So Surreal Circus and Street Creature.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
talk
where
about
I was
that.
going to go to
Yeah.
our sweet little relationship that has been developing over the past 5 years.
Yeah. So when did Surreal Circus have their resuscitation or whatever you call
The resurrection of
Resurrection.
Surreal Circus
Yeah,
was
much
in,
better word.
2021.
21,
and
right.
So, and a little bit of backstory. In fact, I think after this, I'm gonna play the videos from that. So, and one there's gonna be a frittata too. I hear there's.
Go ahead and cut it, Marston.
Bring you could bring us some plates of frittata if you want. So, and Jen brought breakfast. She showed up here at 8:30, and all of us the hardcore. I think there's what's there like 5 of us here, and she shows up with breakfast, which is amazing.
Ooh, frittata.
Kuna frittata.
This is made from eggs from my chickens. I have 11 chickens.
Wow, these are your chickens.
Yep.
Nice.
And it's vegetarian, but not vegan at all.
Mm.
Very, very dairy.
I'm not vegan at all, so that is quite
Butter,
fine.
cream, and cheese.
So,
So Surreal Circus and,
Right.
and Street Creature.
So, all right. So first of all, I should say that there is a history of puppetry with Surreal Circus, and the most significant example of puppetry was the Dragon Parade that we did. We played a bit of Beth's documentary earlier that showed some of that footage, but basically the Surreal Circus had made Reese, our mutual friend Reese Perry, also of the Metafilm fame from the Blue Egg Show. Those were his paintings that inspired it. But Reese had made this white dragon many years ago, and it was kind of a staple of Surreal Circus shows. And when we were ready to resurrect it, the very first thing that I did was I went to visit Reese, and I said, I think I'm going to need a dragon. I wasn't exactly clear. It was just like this thing that I knew, and I think it was something about like marshaling like the power of the dragon to like make this project happen. And Reese is a really like masterful artist. When he gets in his mind to do a thing, he just does it with like this really impressive determination. And he made this massive head, like a head that was like several times bigger than like any other
It's way too big.
It was
It doesn't
huge.
fit in anyone's car.
Yeah, it doesn't fit in a car. You need like a special truck to move it. It is lightweight enough that you can hold it and maneuver it, but it is epic. And at some point in the process, it was clear that like he wasn't going to have time to make a body. And I don't know who. I think maybe Reese suggested I talk to you about getting a body. And at the very last minute, you were like, "Yeah, we can whip up a body," and you did it out of plastic grocery bags, and it was almost like kind of like woven together to make like a fabric thing, and you put Christmas lights in, and you showed up with like this just like army of people with like, they all came out dressed in white as we had suggested or asked, and it was just like out of nowhere. Not only did Mintaka, that's the name of the dragon, have a body, but there was like a whole crew of people to do it, and there was like all these other like puppeteer people, and it was just like amazing. And I think it was like the next year, it seems like the puppet presence has grown each year, and you guys bring more stuff out. And the last like big one that we were able to do in 2 years ago, because of course the hurricane changed the whole plan. But you had like the dragon, you had there was a phoenix, and of course, and I want to get to this soon too, but of course our dear friend Julie Vann was part of it, part of Surreal Circus, and also part of
Yeah,
for that
she was
show.
definitely the connection.
Was she?
The strong, yeah. She kept trying to gently, come on, you guys, you should do more stuff with Surreal Circus. It's really fun.
Aw.
We're doing this. Can we do this? Let's do this. Can we bring this to the... And yeah, so I was kind of like, oh my God, it's Halloween and we're doing 500 other things. And but she's like, come on, it's really fun. Let's just do a little bit. Let's just bring, okay. And then ended up, and it was so fun. Like the white dragon was the first thing I was involved in. And yeah, it was just really magical. It was a beautiful night, and having that dragon, like, serpentine its way through Pack Square. It was just awesome. And so I started coming, but I still wasn't like super committed to it. But then after Julie got sick and then she passed away, I was like, I have to carry on with this because it was important to her.
Aw.
Yeah. And then I just got really into, the whole process that you guys use, which is very different than our process, but still, super creative. And I'm amazed every single time because it's like, oh, I don't have a script and it's in 3 days. But then it comes out so great. So it's like good lessons for me who likes to have a little more control over things that you can trust the process when you have the right people. Yeah. And you can wing it when shit happens and you're like, okay, we're doing it this way now. Yep. Okay. And it works. It's amazing.
Well,
I love that.
I'm in awe of your process too because you have, one thing I really admire about you is like you have this style of like leadership that is so like egalitarian and embracing, and at the same time like you're the queen of the thing, and
The
like,
den mother.
the den mother. Like people do what you say, but it's also like loving. Like I feel like that's something that I'm learning to do, but it doesn't come naturally to me to be like I don't necessarily play well with others baseline.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate watching how smoothly all the pieces work, and I remember the first time coming to Puppet Club, and it was like being in the Wonka factory or something. like what is going on? There's like all these people, and everyone's just like making things, and there's like a big sheet of like bullet points for the meeting you were having, and everything was like just like everybody knew what they were doing, and it was so like cool. It was such like a well-oiled
That's mostly illusion.
I understand that now, but I don't know. I feel like it's like a natural order with when people are kind of like when people are given the space to kind of do the thing that they're like that they love and that they're called to. There is a way that things kind of naturally flow that doesn't require like imposing order.
Mm-hmm.
Jen delegates.
I do. I've gotten a lot better at that because then my brain just broke when I was trying to do everything. Yeah.
I could stop that. That's a constant struggle.
Yeah. We have leads that take on chunks of things and then they delegate and they pay attention to the details of that part of it, whatever it is,
Yeah.
For Leaf, we have lots of leads. We have like hospitality, and that's the person who like makes sure there's firewood and make sure that there's pudgy pie ingredients, and then there's the lantern parade lead who goes through all the lanterns and makes sure they are all functional and are in the right place to be picked up, and so that I don't have to think of all that stuff.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I think too you have like a lot of people that show up really consistently, and like we haven't always had that, but because we've been doing this like every 6 weeks doing a show thing, we are really getting to the point where there's like a solid team that does show up.
So important.
But we still like a good circus meeting is like 8 people, so. But yeah, so yeah, let's
bring that banner in.
Yeah,
here.
come on, Marston. Marston is also
Marston's another crossover, Surreal Sirkus
yeah.
and Street Creature.
All right.
She's vital part of both. This is our motto. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah.
You see it. It looks good.
And it's really our mission to imagine beautiful, community-based, positive, mutual type activities and make them happen with cardboard and paste and tape and singing and whatever. Yeah. Yay.
Magic.
Yeah. What else did I bring? Oh, I brought the one of the fish from the indigo egg, which maybe I could change hats. Put that one on.
I'm going to try to bring it, but this might not stay. There we go.
That works. Yeah, so if you saw the Indigo Egg video earlier or you were at the show, you saw a lot of these fish puppets that were made by various people, but Marston made fish and other street creatures, I imagine, made some of them, and a bunch of jellyfish showed up. It was just like a call to like a fish flash mob, and we ended up with like quite a lot of fish, like more fish than I imagined.
That's not the best shape for sitting in a chair.
And I want you to know that these fish have made their way onto the official poster for
Oh,
the
great.
25th, so
This fish has a story, I'll tell you. So in 2020, right before the pandemic hit, Mardi Gras, it was like the very last Sunday of February, and if you all remember, I think they closed everything down like March 11th. We made this fantastic dragon. So one of our main members, Bam, goes by Bam, Chris Eisenberg, was the king that year, the Mardi Gras king. And one of our founding members, Geneva, her mom was the queen. And so it was a very street creature year for Mardi Gras. And this is when we were still based in the old library in North Asheville. So we had all this freaking great space, which we could talk about the hardships of artists finding space later if you want. But anyway, we were still in that wonderful space. And we decided our theme was going to be dragons, which, there's just a thing about dragons. And yeah.
dragons. Everyone loves dragons.
And so we made, I think we had like 50 people maybe that were involved in it that time. And we made 20 or so, maybe 25 of these helmets, which if you can tell, at one point it was actually a dragon.
Oh.
Like we added, for the fish, I added the fin and the back fin, but it was painted all silver and like teal and gray.
It's a dragonfish.
And it was a dragon helm, we called them.
Dragon helm.
And we had these dragon capes and these dragon tails that you wore, and they were all like, so there was a float that was shaped like a boat, maybe? I think it was shaped like a boat, and it had two fantastic dragon heads coming off the sides of it, and then all these little dragons were like running around the big dragons. So yeah, so we never throw anything away. We do throw stuff away, but if it seems like it might be useful, these dragon helms were sitting in a bag tucked in the back of a shelf for 5 years, and I was about to throw them away, and I think it was Marston. Somebody was like, "Don't throw them away. Look, they kind of look like fish." And so we're like, all right, maybe somebody will make a school of fish out of this. And then this whole like underwater thing came in over the summer. So we do a Halloween house on Vermont Ave every year. 21 Vermont Ave, come and see us. And this year, Lauren is the lead on that. Decided that the theme is going to be 20,000 screams under the sea. And so we're like, oh, we can use all the fish stuff, all the jellies and all the things. So I'm like, oh, the helms. And then I found out about the story for Surreal Sirkus and the fall equinox show, the Indigo Egg show, was also underwater ball, mermaid thing. So we're like, okay, this is a good chance to make that dragon helm into a fish and see if it even works. So there's only 2 of them, but hopefully there will be more at some point. We still have the 20 in the bag. It's not very comfortable though, so I think I'm going to take it off. This was from, oh my gosh, what year was it? We did all these, so we're known for doing giant things, and we had moved several times since we were the big Mardi Gras dragon thing that I was describing earlier, and we were in a small space. We were in the current space. Actually, this was made, one of the first things that was made in the mall, which we're in a storage unit in the mall. We're not actually in like where the stores are. And it's kind of weirdly shaped, and we have no control over the temperature, and there's no bathroom, and there's no running water, but it's cheap, and it's centrally located, and, we're making it work. Anyway, so this must have been 2023 Mardi Gras, I think. And we decided, because we were outgrowing our space already, that we were going to make small things and just sort of play off the idea that, they make the giant puppets, but this time they made these tiny little floats. So they're all on these little dollies, like, you would use for moving furniture. And everybody made a tiny little. The theme that year was secret gardens. So we all made little tiny gardens that you could pull like this. This was made by Bam, our wonderful engineer, brain artist. And they're little unicorns.
They are unicorns.
He calls it the unicorns. What is he called? The disco unicorns of the apocalypse, I think. Yeah.
I think that's my gender.
Yeah. Disco unicorn of the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks really, really amazing in a sunny street because all that sparkly is super extra sparkly. Anyway, it was really, really fun. We had a decomposer's little tiny float with like worms and bacteria, and we had a little shop of horrors garden float, and we had, what else was that? Oh, we had another disco float with a record player, and it had like little figures that were dancing on the record player, and I don't know, that exhibit, theme, we actually ended up having an exhibit at the library with all of them in the children's library, and it was very popular.
Yeah, it's like a little like brain.
Brain guy.
It's like frog-handed, brain exposed. I don't know what's going on. That's crazy.
See, the front, these are the 4 unicorns of the apocalypse, and then this is their army.
Oh, so
their dance team.
the 4 unicorns are pulling the.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow. It all makes sense now.
So we love to empower people to come up with crazy things and make them, and then drag them through the street in parades or at festivals. So come and play with us sometime if you like.
Wednesday nights at the
At
puppet
the mall,
space at the
yeah.
mall.
Yep.
Yep.
So what else? I think that's all I brought with me.
Well, yeah, I feel like because of the show that we're doing and the relationship, the connection that it has with Julie, want to talk about that a little bit. So Julie Vann was a friend to a lot of us in the arts community, and I had actually worked with her in a different circus, clandestiny circus, for a little while, and so I knew her kind of from that. And she performed with us in 2023 as the stilt walking light post.
Right.
She was the one out there leading the way, and then very soon after that, she was diagnosed with terminal cancer, and you were
Thyroid cancer.
thyroid
Yeah.
cancer. And passed away like
February
fairly
15th
soon.
of 2024.
So between October and February, so the last, I think it was one of the last, if not the last, production that she was in was being this light post, and
Mhm. It was the last.
and I'd love to hear anything you want to share about that experience, but to kind of like tie it in with what we're doing here and why why it's such a significant part of like our story here is that the show that we are doing in 3 weeks was really inspired by Julie. It happened to be it worked out. I didn't think I was going to get to see Julie before she passed, because she had this kind of tight circle of people. You and others were taking care of her, but we did end up actually being at her house when she passed, and her whole experience of like how she engaged death was just such a like empowering kind of experience. She did a lot of like videos where she talked about what was going on and stuff, and when we were there, like in the moments after she passed, there was a certain song that came. It felt like one of those like things that comes from somewhere like external, and it was "Come Sail Away" by Styx. Love that song. And we have planned this entire show, or in the aftermath of that, we planned this whole show around commemorating Julie's passing and other people who had passed, and kind of taking the story. And I don't want to give too much away, but it's kind of exploring like what happens, not like what happens after you die exactly, but like what happens in this sort of interim. You know, this idea of like the bardo, or the from Tibetan Buddhism, or the people who have these kind of like near-death experiences where they see their life flash before their eyes and they like relive their lives, and kind of working with that story. And we were planning this last year, and then of course Helene hit, and it suddenly took on like this whole other magnitude of importance. And we have taken the story that we were going to tell and kind of unpacked a lot of like the backstory through these cosmic egg stories, but really at the heart of them, they're talking about the stages of a person's life, and that we are still leading towards the death egg, where the black egg is coming back around for Halloween. And so anyway, that's my Surreal Sirkus sort of window on it. But I was just wondering if you wanted to share anything about Julie or your experience with all of that.
So much there. It was really an amazing experience to walk with her through those last 5 or so weeks, where she was getting all of her diagnosis and various, treatment options, and realizing that even if she went through those, there was a very good chance that she would still die, and she would be in so much pain and misery through the process of that. And she decided to just take hold of it, of her life, what was left of it, and live it the way she wanted. And it was really amazing. And I was right in the heart of that, helping to coordinate all the people that were giving her care, and trying to help her to have the experiences that she still could have, before she got too sick. And then just sitting with her in that last week as she drifted closer was amazing. And then, so you and Karen came that day. We were just all like, what's holding her here? She seems like she's ready to go, but she's not going. And and we were inviting folks, special people, to come and just sit by her side and like read her stories or sing or just be quiet with her. And so you guys came to participate in that, and she passed while Karen was in there. And we were all sitting in the kitchen, like just in this weird state, and then you came and talked about that song. And I mean, there was a lot more that happened. I'm not going to go into all of it, and we started drinking whiskey and singing that song and remembering all the things about her, and started that next phase of post-Julie world together. But she's still here, so strong.
Yeah, and it's one of the things about Julie was one of her passions, and I think a large part of her career was working with like water and environmental preservation of water. And it was like such a like the hurricane and all that was like it was like a moment made for her.
Yeah. Yeah. I know she would have loved that.
She would have loved it. I kind of loved it.
I loved it too in many ways. Yeah.
West Asheville during the hurricane was like one of the sweetest times of my life.
It's when almost all the structures break down, and you can just stop pretending about all this bullshit like money and, work and career and all that shit, and just be like, oh, this person needs something to eat. And, how are you doing, and how are you sleeping, and let me rub your feet, and let me figure out how to get you a blanket. I mean, like all the things that matter, Let's sing a song and eat some food that someone made together. Yeah, I loved that. And I hope that we can hold on to some of that going forward into this world.
Yeah, it was really interesting how like all of our friends who've been doing like these like burns or like festival things or like just working in creative situations where you have to be really ingenuitive or whatever really fared very well. Like it was like the burners' day to shine,
Yeah, yeah.
because like Rhiannon and Logan. Rhiannon's one of our folks, but they created this whole
Hub.
And,
Yeah.
And just there was some really impressive feats of people like rallying to make things happen. It was like I think people in Asheville felt a lot of pride at like just seeing how much our community came together. And
Street Creature did a lot of what we called puppet pop-ups at the different distribution hubs, because there were all these places that, I don't know who we're talking to right now. Probably they all already know if it's Asheville, but like places with water and supplies you could go. And so we just go there with puppets and dance around and entertain the kids, and did a few different little parades through neighborhoods. And yeah, we weren't even able to get into the mall for a while because the FEMA people were there and they had like guards around and everything. But I managed to snag a few puppets and keep them in my van so that we could just show up for things. With it was kind of random which ones we ended up having, but we had some and we showed up with them. Yeah. Well, I went in there. See, like there was a few days where they hadn't quite figured out how to guard the whole place, and I just like sweet talked my way past one of the normal regular guards and not the FEMA government people, and I just went in there. I'm like, and it was dark, our place had no light, but I just had my phone and I just grabbed the most random things and shoved as many of them into the van as I could. And that's what we used for like 3 weeks until we could get back in there. Yeah. Quite a time.
yeah,
So where's all the people calling with all the money? Hey, Street Creatures, you should be watching this and donating.
Yeah, so maybe let's put up the link for how to donate.
The hat was